Welcome to episode 5 of the Building Interactive Website series, which will go over lists. So right now we're able to write content on a page and display it to users, but we can't really present lists of data in a meaningful, representable, or semantic way. Right now, the best thing that we can do is add dashes before each of the items in our list and put each of the items in their own individual paragraphs, which doesn't make it immediately obvious that it's a list. To fix this problem, let's firstly go over the simplest type of list, which is an unordered list. In order to create an unordered list, you use the UL tag, which stands for unordered list. And this is the element where all of the list items will go into. To create a list item, we can use the li tag. And then inside of the li tag, we can put any item that we want to be in the list. So I'm planning on replacing these paragraphs here with a single unordered list. So the first ingredient I'm putting in is bread. And as you can see, if I run the code, you can see the start of a bulleted list here. And we can add more li elements. So we'll move butter next. And then finally, we'll add another list item with eggs. And now as you can see, it's properly formatted as a bulleted list, which makes it very obvious that it is actually an unordered list that we're looking at here. Unordered lists are great when the order of the data in the list does not matter, and they can be rearranged. However, there are cases where you do want the items to be in a specific order, and that's where an ordered list comes in. In order to make this unordered list an ordered list, we just change the UL to an OL. And now as you can see, each item in this list has a number beside it that lets you know what item it is and in which order the items are arranged. Additionally, the OL tag does have attributes. Firstly, it has type, which allows you to change the way the numbers are shown. I can quickly add some more list items here so that it's easier to see the differences between all the types. So the default type is 1, which means it's just regular numbers. However, you can also change it to lowercase letters by typing in lowercase a, or uppercase A for uppercase letters. Roman numerals are also supported too, so you can type I for lowercase Roman numerals and capital I for uppercase Roman numerals. It does have additional attributes too, like for example, reversed, which reverses the order of the items and makes one at the bottom and the top have the highest number. For the reversed attribute, you don't need to give it a value. You can just leave it like that because it's a Boolean value. The final attribute that the OL element has is start, which determines what number the list will start at, what number the topmost element will display next to it. So for example, if I type in 5, the list will start at 5 and keep incrementing to 6, 7, and so on. And this can also be a negative number. For example, negative 11 makes it start at negative 11 and go to negative 10, negative 9, and so on. And when combined with reversed, it starts at the topmost item in the list starts at the start value, and then it goes down instead of going up. Finally, there are cases when neither unordered lists nor ordered lists work, and you instead want a list of terms and their descriptions or definitions. The way you create this description list is by making use of the DL element. The terms and definitions go inside this DL element, and the first element that you can add is a DT element, which defines a term. So for example, I can put in HTML, and then I can add a brief description of HTML using the DD element, which defines a description or definition of the term. In this case, I'll just say a programming language for making websites. And as you can see, it's indented to let the user know, to let us know that it is in fact a definition of a term. You can add multiple descriptions to a single term. For example, you can write, it's what we are learning right now, and it's also indented. You can also add multiple terms and definitions. For example, I'll make another one for JavaScript, which we'll be learning later on. And then for a description, we could say it makes websites interactive. And this definition's also indented. Now that we're done talking about all the different types of lists, we've reached the end of episode 5 of the Building Interactive Website series. Thank you very much for watching, and make sure to look out for episode 6.